This is our pond. That is our Cat 304 mini excavator, our Ford 555 loader. And we've got a 16 by 24 shelter house from Dami Outdoor Living. We've been working on this project for a few days now. If you check out the previous video, you will see all the dirt work that we did to get to this point. Today's goal, finish the excavation side of things, and then hopefully get that loader fired up, go down in the woods, and all those massive sandstone blocks that we've been mining out of the property on the other end, maybe start placing those along the bank. We'll just have to see what the world lets us do. Step one, a whole lot of that. So the Cat 304 excavator and that Ford 555, that's the equipment we've got. We've got a small skid steer too, it's all wheeled. None of it performs very well on this slope in this clay, so we've just been shuttling everything, handling it 27,000 times with the machine. Time consuming, but with what we have to operate, it's been doing the job. So we're doing the exact same thing here. Once we get it worked this way, we've just been shoving it down the hill. And 32-foot lifts, that way it gets good compaction, you know? It's not that serious, you know? Calm down, everything's okay. We're not building a skyscraper on top of it. So I got some fuel. Before we finish digging into that hillside, I got to make sure the last material that comes out is what I need to shape this bank in. And to do that, we got to get everything on this end cleaned up. This was supposed to be a pile of topsoil, but it's full of a bunch of crap. And honestly, I don't want to mess with it. It's going to just get shoved down the hill and disappear into the woods. The burn pile's burnt enough. We're going to shove that down the hill. And then we're going to do a little work on the back side of this dam. And we got to do a little bit of a technique to try to make sure we can hold the toe of that slope. You can see this. This would just be a nightmare to try to work that into something usable for topsoil. It is still burning. Mike, you're going to shove burning material into the middle of the woods? Yeah. That is where we made the rest of the burn pile disappear whenever we built the initial pond. It's all just shoved down in a hole. Disappeared into a void, that's fun. make anything decent out of that material. So we're also, while we're here, gonna dig out a little bit of a cleat, a bench, if you will. Like I said, it's to hold the bottom toe of the slope. And if you can see the material coming out of here, it's not great. We had quite a bit of trash when we first built this pond. We had a dam failure because of the trash and the material we had. I don't want to get into the dam itself with this little bench, this little cleat. We're going to kind of stay about from where I'm at now with the bucket towards the woods. But I just need something for this new clay we're pushing out to sit on. It'll kind of help hold that. So you can see what I'm getting into. We're going to do that all the way across to the wood. That way that clay lands on something flat. We can beat it as best we can with the machine. It's a better than nothing plan. And because I don't want to bench into the dam very much, I am at least going to peel the grass from about there over. And the idea, when it's all said and done, is this slope just kind of blends through there. But I am going to take some of this grass out. Topsoil. We just threw grass seed on clay at the top part here. So that's what we're looking like now. And that'll be just fine. So now we're gonna do a whole bunch of blade work and start. We've been tracking over this the whole time, getting it packed. So I'm gonna start blading that off and peeling stuff off and trying to get the toe of this established, because we're starting to work towards the final product, so I need to get a more defined shape on it. I'm going to add this caveat on there. If we were doing this for somebody else and I was getting paid to do this, obviously we'd be rinsing a dozer, rinsing a bigger excavator, rinsing a sheep's foot roller, and doing it, quote unquote, the correct way. But whenever it's my own place, my own property, I'll take a few leniencies here and there on what should actually be done. But this should work okay, and if not, we'll fix it. It's just dirt, right? It's not top priority of things that make or break life. I'm just a big kid out here with a big old sandbox, you know? We've got the general shape in place. So now as we get the rest of that out, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. I'm gonna go grab the laser. We'll finish getting this section here kind of hogged out, the bulk of it out of the way. And then we should be ready to get the laser set up and start running grade for what we need, the final grade in here. I'm getting pretty lucky with the rain, but I don't know about that one. We'll see what happens. So you can see how she's starting to shape in there, looking good. We didn't have any flat real estate around the pond before we started this. Oh, wow. Airplane distraction. Anyway, by the time this is all said and done, we're gonna have all kinds of flat areas. Shelter house over here, concrete cornhole boards, concrete ping pong tables. Ah, fella's getting carried away. That plane is cool, man. We're getting real close to the hog out, you know, like the bulk of the dirt moved. This is the remnants of a stump, which is crazy. I don't know. I just want to see where we're at on size. So 16 by 24. If you guys want to hold that in, we have to go that way a lot. Ah, 16 by 24 is so big. Is that right? Hold on, I have to look this up. 14 by 24. Oh gosh, I've been lying to you the whole time. Okay, 14 by 24. I don't think I realize how big that is. That's 14 feet. Oh no. No kidding? This is almost, our first house, it was a log cabin, was 14 by 32. And this shelter house is almost bigger than our first home. Wow. I think that's a success story. Oh my God. I mean, just somewhere in there. Holy smokes, bud. This So this is where those rocks come into play, all the rocks we got out. That slope back there, relatively mowable, and I want to keep that relatively mowable. We got to do a ditch halfway up the hill to catch that other ditch. We talked about it on the previous video, but I'll show you just in case you didn't see that. But I knew that meant the bottom half of this was going to be pretty steep. It's either that or shove the whole hill back another 5 feet, and that's not going to happen. So this is the part where we just got to dig down. Wow. Here's the bummer part about the YouTube, the vlogging our life and kind of thing, is there's a pretty much guaranteed chance of rain tonight, early morning. What I should be doing, because that rain, is getting the tractor, just staying out until like 8 or 9, I lose daylight, and getting those rocks out of the woods. But tomorrow's a post day, and I've got to do editing tonight instead. I make videos about the reality of our life, but sometimes the videos get in the way of the reality. If we can at least get the bulk of this dirt work done before the rain comes, that would be. So we're setting the elevation over there the same as the pond dam. Pretty high yet. And what we'll do, we'll paint our elevation reference on the slope. We ought to be able to do that. I feel like we ought to go at least 3 feet bigger than what we need, so we're allotting room for the rocks. If I paint right here on the ground, I know that's going to be pretty close to grade for me. This would be a perfect time for a small child to run grade for me, but she's making chicken fried rice, so. Once we get this down to grade, we'll take a laser and play around with the ditch and some other stuff. The bank, following that in, and we'll check. Big fear of this bank sliding and me ended up in the drink here. Just in case. At that point, we'll dig straight down. This bladed out of the way and just keep on doing that. And I just try to follow that elevation into the bank. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll get pretty close, so I'm having to get in and out of the machine a whole lot. I don't know how we're getting so lucky, but this is the same thing that happened yesterday. That rain is just staying just to the north of us. Fingers crossed that's what it does tonight, and we're actually able to get some rocks out of the woods tomorrow. Well, we didn't get so lucky last night. The rain band just barely came across our area, but in its short time here, it dumped about, I'm just gonna guess, 3 inches of rain. Not gonna complain, because people to the north got tornadoes and we just got rain, so we'll take that. She's definitely soupy. Excellent example of why we're going to be building this gate and that ditching around, though, because there's no reason for any of this to be silting in and stirring up the pond right now. We are definitely too soupy to do anything there, though. This is all clay. I'm not worried about sinking, but we're just going to be spinning our tracks like we're driving on ice. I was up editing until about midnight last night, but the whole time I was editing, I thought, man, I wish I was out there moving dirt. What are you gonna do? One thing we're gonna do as a part of this build, we're taking this out, and those large rocks that we quarried out of the woods, we're gonna stack those in here in a way that it looks like water cascading over large rocks. You get the idea, waterfall effect. Right now it's just riprap and it's not super attractive. So what we can do today is we can come in here at the excavator and start pulling some of this back, get some laser measurements for the height that we've got to accomplish, and then head out to where the rocks are, do the math, and go ahead and plan out what rocks are going to be stacked here. And that's going to be crucial that we put them in the perfect order. I think the hardest part of today is just going to be getting that thing up here and getting to it. Success! I don't know if you can see it in the background of the video, but one of my favorite things to watch whenever I've been editing is that beach ball. That thing is just out here living its best life. It's going to be a little tricky to work our way in here, but bad there. A little further, probably. Okay, while we're here, classic while we're here move. So we want a little walking trail that goes along the bank here. Gonna go ahead and scoop out a halfway level bench for that. I can reach the rest of it from the other side. Also, I don't want a cottonwood tree, which is what that is right there. So let's pluck that cottonwood tree out of there. I have a really unique idea on how to do a little retention wall for this little trail too. I'm not gonna tell you yet. We may do it on the next video. Straddling this a little better. Without throwing a track would be the goal. the sun comes out the rest of the day, we'll be doing dirt work again tomorrow, I think. Oh no, my light fell off. You see how we're wanting to bench this walking trail in. It's always good to build a waterfall when the water's falling. That's nice. So we got the laser set up at, oh gosh, the top of the hill. I have to make some guesses, but get her. I don't want to have to crawl in and out of here a whole lot. So we're gonna shoot some grade, we're gonna take some measurements, we're gonna head out to the woods and then plan out what rocks go where so that whenever I push the proper rock up, I can just take it, set it down here and then kind of work my way out in one motion. The less times we go up and down this hill, the better we're gonna be. We can get the job done with the small equipment. We just have to put a little bit of forethought into it, that's all. 5'9". Some might call that the perfect height. Welcome to my rock store. Okay, here's what we need to do. 11 foot 1 inch, 5'9". Now we math a little bit. So we've got 5'4" to make up. And what we gotta do, because all these rocks are varying heights, I wanna plan out what rock goes where and how many of these rocks it's gonna take to get that. I think these big flat ones would be perfect for the bottom. Kind of start getting it pulled back into the hill. 11 inches. I'm just gonna take some marking paint. This will be the back edge of it. Just paint a 1 on it. Rock number 1. About a foot. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just need a rough idea. This will be number 2. This will probably be the front edge. So we'll put the 2 right there. I think this is pretty obvious. Next one. She's a good looking rock. Oh, well, I'm content with the first 4. Let's go back and see if those measurements are gonna work. Most of them are 5 foot wide. 32 deep. 32 would land me right there. Another 32 there. I'd rather it be like this. My only concern is this first step really needs to be a lot deeper than that first rock I have. I almost feel like we gotta go back and look at something. I feel like the perfect solution is going to be a big problem. This monster here would be just perfect for the first one. How do I get that down there? Might be what we call a problem for another day, huh? I think I'm going to have to do an unfortunate thing here, but I want to make progress, and the only way I can do that is to walk that excavator back down to this operation. People have been asking how far is this operation. I just reset the trip on here. We'll go find out. Mile. Okay. There it goes. Somebody put a daggone pile of riprap right in the way. If I find the guy, I'll probably like and subscribe. Okay. So the goal is to use the Mini to get these rocks up to the road. That's what we're going to try to do. Tripod. Perfect. Look at that. It's just ready to go. Now she's just hanging out. hoping my stone bridge holds the weight of the Mini and a stone. We'll just kind of stage them in a line up here on this stone, and that ought to work all right. Let's see if we can get a twofer. Good, that was gentle. I liked how gentle that was nice. Oh, I like where this is going. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. Now we'll see if she makes the trip up. To blade walk this one though. I don't think I can get underneath it enough to carry it. The other ones I haven't depended on the blade, I've just been kind of using it for a little help, but I think we're going to depend on the blade on this one. Yeah, okay, all right. No, it doesn't like that. Nope. Nope, we don't like that. We got to get it up on there better. Okay, hold on. Not a huge fan of doing this. If you're having to use every single function of the machine, you're pushing the machine pretty hard, but in a pinch. What a mess. I'm glad we packed that full of that rock the other day though. I think even for this we'd be struggling right now. You can see I can't quite get the blade up high enough to clear the crown. Because of the weight of that rock, we're dragging the blade, but creek's flowing nice with all the rain we have. We'll be back on this project in the fall. Some people have been asking, but what we've done so far has held up really well. So that's good. We're same shelter house as this, except way bigger. I forget what size this is, but the one we're building is 14 by 24. This thing's looking awesome. It's been holding up really well, so No complaints from me. But anyway, in case you're new to the channel, when I say the rock bridge, I mean I took a rock and I made a bridge out of it. So, how nervous am I about this breaking? How nervous am I about this breaking? I've been very cognitive about making sure my tongue's not between my teeth whenever we're crossing in case she gives out. You know what I mean? Okay. That's terrifying. Okay. Well, there's our waterfall. Some assembly required. Let's get this old rig fired up, get the grapple put on it. How's that? Relatively dry. She's a little moist. Oh, good. And see if we can't get those rocks moved down here. Let's see. Out of gear. A little bit of throttle. This is going to require us to not get stuck immediately, though. Terrifying. All right, grapple test. Tell you what. It's a pretty awkward way to carry that. Let's rearrange them with the Mini. Whenever we bring the Mini back over. Oh, hell. Not 100% sure, but I think the grapple fell off. This is what always fails when you're pushing the weight. It's always these lips up here. Need reinforcement, like I did on the. I'll show you, like we did on the bucket. The adapter plate, all that looks fine. It's just that needs beat down and some gussets welded on the top side, like steel coming up over and gusseted down to hold that edge down. I think I paid like $200 for this grapple though, so can't really complain too much about it. I guess we'll see if I can get in there enough to shove the rock out of the way. The odds I can dump it at least. Oh, she'll ride back to the shop. Yeah. Tell you what. I gotta make a decision. Do I want to fix this now? Or do I want to just switch to the bucket and make it work with the bucket? We post videos every Monday and Thursday, all right? I'll see you Thursday. Then you'll see what my decision was. We are making some progress, so. You can't have progress without setbacks. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist.